Hello and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Abdul Rasid. My matrix number is 9603260851030001 and I'm from Bachelor of Psychology with honors. Today I would like to present my ideas about the service that we can help the recovery, the people and the community after the MCO, which I call as a digitalization service. Okay, what does mean with the digitalization service? Okay, for example, if the pace of the pre-coronavirus were already fast, the luxury of the time seems to have disappeared completely. Businesses that want to map down digital strategy is one of the 3 years phases must not be scaled their initiative in a matter of days or weeks. In one Europe survey, it took about 70% of executives from Austria, Germany, and Switzerland said the pandemic is likely to accelerate with the pace of the digitalization transformations. The quickening is evidence is already across the sectors and the geographies. For example, we consider how the Asian banks have to swiftly migrate physical channels online, how the healthcare providers have moved rapidly into the telehealth institutions, into the self-service claims assessments, and retailers into the contactless shopping and delivery. The COVID-19 crisis seemingly provides a sudden glimpse into a future world, one is which is digital have become central to every interactions, forcing both organizations and individuals become it's like a further up as the adoptions the curve, for example. Almost every night this thing happening. Over which digital channels become the primary and in some cases sold, for example. Customer engagement model and automated processes become a primary driver of the productivity. And the basics of the flexible, transparent, and the stable supply chains, which is it's a world in the which it adjusts ways of the working and the primaries to meeting seemingly daily changes to a customer behavior. If a silver lining can be found, it might be the failing barriers to improvisations and the experimentations that have the engaged among the customers, market, regulators, and organization. For example, in this unique moment, companies that can be learned to progress is more likely than ever before. The ways that the hand adjust today is crisis deeply influence their performance in the tomorrow changes the world, providing all the opportunities to retain greater agility and the wealth of the closer with the customers, employees, and suppliers. For example, those are successfully able to make the gain 6 is likely to be more successful during the recovery on the beyond. Now is the time to reassess digital service, those to provide the norm terms to help the employee customers and a broad set of the stakeholders, which businesses are increasingly responsible with tools to a position for you to post-crisis world. In the world, some things will snap back their previous form, which others will be forever changed. Playing it safe now understable as a might fail to do so it often to worse option. So right now we have like a few like I have the few options. For example, the first option that I can give is crisis demands boldness and learning. Okay, what does mean with this crisis demands boldness and learning? Okay, first thing first, every company knows how to pilot new digital initiatives is normal time, but a very few to do scales and speed suddenly required by COVID-19 crisis. So each and everyone in this our society, it will take time for them to comfort in this kind of digitalization service. For example, such as customer, the market penalties for the widespread list and learn. So it can be seems too high in our society right now. And organizations obstacles to step. So for example, like a shareholders or the public companies demand immediate returns. Finance departments keep it tight and hold the funds needed to move the new initiative forward quickly. Other than that, customer is often too slow to adjust new ways of doing these things. For example, they might using the same ways or they might be using the traditional way. Okay, what does it mean with that traditional objection? With the traditional adaptations curves the reflecting in the inherent inertia and organization culture with the deeply grooved silos, a agility, and the collaborations. As a result, the companies often the experiment is the piece that falls to match with their rate to change around them slowly and their ability to learn fast enough to keep up to date with this kind of digitalization service. Additionally, they rarely embrace the bold actions needed to move quickly from the piloting initiative to scaling the successful ones. Even though the McKinsey research shows bold moves to adopt digital technologies is earlier and the scales combined with the heavily allocations of resources against with the digitalizations and MQA. Correlates high this variable created as the COVID-19 crisis forces the customer, employees, and supply chains into digital channels and new ways of working. Now it's time for you to ask yourself, what are the bold digital actions we are actually hesitated to pursue the past even we have known that will eventually be required. Strange as it may seem, right now is a moment of the crisis in a precisely the time boldly advance your digital agenda. Secondly, we have a new offering. Okay, what it does mean with a new offering? By now, you're likely to build a minimally viable nerve center near you to coordinate with the crisis response. What it does mean with this? Okay, for example, this nerve center provide a natural gathering point for the crucial strategy informations, which will help you to stay close and quickly involving needs of core customer segments and the way how it reaches competitors and the market are moving to meet them all. Mapping these changes has helped to address immediately risk to be sure, but it's also affords looking forward in the time of the bigger issues and opportunities. Those that could be significant disparate as the crisis continues. Just the digital platforms have the disparate valuable pools and the valuable change to the past of COVID-19 crisis will be similar ecosystem of level changes in the motions. It's not stopped until there because the changes of economies, for example, by the ways of the serving customers and working with suppliers across the traditional industry boundaries. So this is what I mean. The first explanations about the COVID-19 crisis that are happening in our country right now, it affected a lot. Okay, not